Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We're here with Elf, we just finished at the Grand Cosmos, which was a dungeon. And, yeah, let's see what he has to say. We mustn't dally here any longer, Laura. If Backlook is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Okay, let's go. Alrighty, we're back at the Ocular. Let's see what's gonna happen. Thinking, some deep thinking skills.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own, and your soul is the densest of them all.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
Nice.
As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Nice. Let's save them. Better hurry up too. You're spun quite detailed, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? White Aurosite, you say, an intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, highly as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the Aurosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. That doesn't sound good. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted, stagnant. And I see these unfortunate individuals. Why do you think you might be able to help them? I might or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite oversight. I believe my talents will be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Begluk as necessary? Sure. Let us make for Amh Araeng then. Alrighty. Let's go. Alrighty, we're back at the inn. Probably gonna have to run around 10,000 times before we actually do something. So this is Halric, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light, he will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Now he's mumbling something. And perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which would temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Woburd. Then for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Well. Treat the patients with soul tonic. There you go. Have some soul tonic. Todden. Yeah. Todden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Sad. Are you too, Pawnil? What is this? Warmth I feel in my chest. Oh. Sounds a bit more promising, I feel like. Wine, you also want some? I feel warm in my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Hey, sounds pretty good. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. Yeah, same here. As I feared then, it is true that with the restoration of night, the corruption influence of light will no longer grow. And yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Okay. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Alright, let's do it. Good for the soul. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Wobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administer to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. You mustn't dwell on the past, and now you have a chance to redeem yourself. At least the Warriors of Light brought these responsible to justice. Now you got a chance to redeem yourself. Let's do it. Stop crying about it. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. Nice, then let's do it. Let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize the people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Yes. Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility, but now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if it's all the same to you. Yeah, let's do it. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. Yes, let's go. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Elfino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Why don't I just ask my friend? Fine, we'll pay a visit to Eulmore, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the Numu of Plaeni. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Let's get this over with, shall we? Then I get the clay in the meantime? This still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Yeah, let's go. Oh my god, is he gonna explain to me how I get the clay? Clay from Amh Araeng would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? I could ask the miners at Twine. Well, there are the scavengers at Mortsuk. I do feel like clay will probably be in the Twine, but I don't want to go there. Scavengers, you say? Well, they may know the lie of the land, but I dare say they are more interested in the trinkets and baubles hiding in the earth than the earth itself. Now miners, on the other hand. Okay, I go to Twine. What's that? You know the miners of Twine. Perfect. Speak with them and you should have no trouble with procuring what we need. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn from the stagnation which afflicts the people here. Let's go. Of course I have to talk to Magnus. I don't want to talk to him. Nora, well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the talus and trolley you lot took to Amh Araeng. The trolley was no trouble, but the talus would have been another matter, had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from the Daedalus stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that chai-nuzz. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the chai and talus to work. Like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Laura here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Just give me some clay and let me go. I see, and this familiar requires clay from Amh Araeng. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biron mines to make adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. Okay. Let's go. Alrighty, I finally got the clay. The twins have returned in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it. Of course I do. I get my job done. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water. Then heat the mixture with the Fey lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Nice. Begluk, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possessed the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much and swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Maybe you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Northrend more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that so? Not so, Laura? Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job. Very few, but if all should go awry, I'll see what I can do. No, I'm good. I'll give it my all for Halric for Tasleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alice shall be the one to conjure the familiar. Nice.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
Aww. They're cute.
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
What the hell?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
Let them flow, Alice.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Aww. That's so cute.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Nice.
Mother, I...
I mean, he was saying like 2 words. That's way more than his. How is he back, Luke? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via our side. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Begluk said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the stores? Not really, it is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases, or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the soul, in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Damn, I struggled a lot. I'm not sure I follow Gabu, do you really think he'll cover? Oh man. Exactly, his condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? Don't worry. I see his condition does sound similar, yet there is much more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend the time in idleness. It is all the same. If it is all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Begluk and see if you can make some headway with their newly poseided furies. I will tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, I found you. No, let me go. Oh, hello there. Cashier, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Eulmore. Lady Chai is beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say, must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Begluk. Alright. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Eulmore is at stake. Okay. Nowhere to turn. Lady Chai's up in the parlor. Best not keep her waiting. Let's go. Alrighty, we're in Eulmore. Well, not here seems out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that sighing. Strange, let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. Let's go. Found her. Let me guess it's some bullshit, probably.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
At least we get voice acting, that's something.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
Then now you find out that he's in twine and stuff.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Eulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so?
It was literally just in twine, no?
What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I don't know, but whatever it is, he won't have fled. Sorry, but I think he's fled. I mean, to be honest, he is a coward. Screw you, calling us for dead.
Nay, my
They're
friend.
about to die.
The one thing he has not done is flee. Of that I am convinced. Through the
He's a
most
little
testing
pissed.
of times, he has ever remained at Lady Chai's side, placing her happiness before his own. He would not abandon her now.
I mean, he almost let everyone die because he wasn't confident enough in his stuff.
Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Will we though? He was in twine just before, they told me. Or am I mixing him up? No, I'm
Thank you,
not.
my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Okay, can we go then? If he comes back anyways and Alphino is right about him not fleeing. Please tell me we're not gonna actually look for him now. Notable absence. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word. But even if he had, he would not have done so on... Oh, I don't know. Someone there will have something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. But he was just entwined, man! Oh my god. Okay, let me ask some people. Alrighty, I talked to some people. And there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Here, read. Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Eulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place, Eulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? That is a very good question, and I can't wait to find out. All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Eulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical then that, having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Nora, if you will go and make inquiries and write, I shall do likewise in the still tight gate town. I leave to you, Cashier. Fair enough, where should we meet when we've finished? Tobrang would seem to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Okay, let's go. Alrighty, so we talked to someone in Wright, and yeah, he was there. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gaytown as well, did he? I see, Cashier and I glean much the same. He seems determined to salvage that goodwill. What goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Colusia, the only likely place he has left to go being a midi. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up with him. Let's go. And we found chai-nuzz. Yay! Arrive, no Cashier, what are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We have been looking all over for you. Looking for me, whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word and bade us return to her side. Wait, what in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers, though I suppose she could have overlooked it, and when she gets an idea into her head, I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai, but since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from the nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Colusia, that much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man who's to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe said resources can be found here. Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I'm certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion for what little it is worth. We will vouch for you should he require convincing. Whatever you need, you can count on us. We believe in you, Master Chai. Oh man. Why can't we just let him do his thing? I don't know what to say. Just say, no, I don't need your help. I'm gonna do this. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Eulmore, but that dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble, or a boil more like. Anyway, outside of repaying myself, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Golg, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You're going to steer Eulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help, do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way, if you let me come with you, that is. To be honest, the way Eulmore was before, like, you have to be really bad to make it even worse than that, Give me entirely too much credit, a lot of you, but I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us pass on together. Oh man, can't they just deal with it by themselves? Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Eulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here. To find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Renton is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided that his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Wulfri's father when he was in office. Nice. Franchit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Renton was the left, and between them they kept Eulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overture so out of hand. Yay. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, you made rather a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. And this part is actually gonna kill me. Okay, I'll figure out some stuff and see you guys in a bit. Alrighty, we finally found Brendan. I really hope there's some voice acting, please. God, I don't think there is. Oh.
Well, it's you again.
Thank you.
Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Eulmoreans. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Forthry's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Forthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet, and I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable, yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Eulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Forthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, chai-nuzz, you were content to wallow in indolence under Forthry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. This much I will say. It is my hope that Eulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Eulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with vauthry. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Eulmore for the people.
A Eulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Eulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Fair enough. Right then, is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Eulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Yes, meal being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And the man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer and I will consider offering you my counsel. Farming? A combination of measures would seem to be in order, one to address the immediate issue of supply and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Eulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. Think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago after speaking with the peoples of Eulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, chai-nuzz. I have, well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet, only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Brendan, and one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of talents to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Tell us, but Data Stoneworks closed their doors years ago without a ready supply of the necessary equipment. The people would starve before your plans could be put into effort. Did he not see the giant that was grabbing onto the mountain? And as the heir to Data Stoneworks, it just so happens that tailors are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire that we need in no time at all. Now, he can literally turn around for 1 second and he will see that the tellers are not actually gone. Like, please use your eyes and brain, preferably. Alright, but yeah, this whole thing with chai-nuzz, apparently, is actually getting on my nerves. So we will continue in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like what you see, and obviously subscribe if you would like to see more. I try to upload every single day. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and bye bye.